Well, as the weekend is coming to a close, that does not mean we have to end things here. But, however, this is a very special for everyone here. If you guys are big fans of the Yoshi wrestling scene, then you are in the right channel because today we're only going to focus on two of them, and that is Stardom, where their much recent show, and Yamagata, where of course this will be the last time we get to see Mirai, Mai Sakurai, and Yuzuki in Stardom until they make their appearance at Rossi Ogawa's new promotion. They'll be up and running, hopefully, don't know when, but it features very interesting matches I think many of you probably will enjoy. And then, of course, we have Tokyo Yoshi Pro Wrestling with one of their biggest shows in Ryogoku, Grand Princess 2024. This one features many matches, like, for example, we have Maki Ito taking on Minoru Suzuki. But however, we do have three titles in defenses. We have the International Princess title. Yuki Arai defends it against the former champion, Yuki Kamifuku, which is the Battle of the Yukis. And then we have, of course, the Princess Tag Team titles also on the line. Daisy Monkey, Arisu Endo, and Suzumi has been chasing these belts for a long time. Will they finally obtain it against Yuki Onoi and Ryo Mizunami? We just gotta wait and see. And then, of course, the top title, Princess of Princess title, Miyu Watanabe, who has been one of the most outstanding wrestlers in Tokyo Yoshi Pro. Will she finally obtain this belt by defeating one of the top wrestlers and a very skillful wrestler, Miyu Yamashita? Well, that is something we will see. I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure many of you are looking forward to it. And then, of course, we have a little small news updates for all of you. So we'll cap it up with that as well. So let's get ready for another episode of Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Welcome everybody to Deleted Wrestle Zone, all things that is pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, TNA, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, Jay Rod here. So, if you are new to the channel, welcome. This is a channel where we do a lot of pro wrestling reviews from various promotions, not only here in the United States, but also in Japan, Mexico, Canada, Europe, the UK, anywhere in the world where pro wrestling is not as big, but it continues to grow. We also do discussion videos, talk about various topics such as the wrestlers themselves, the promotions, factions, storylines, whatever we want to talk about. We also do more news updates. If I'm unable to put it on this episode, I can put it on a separate video by itself. We also do more real timing news updates to keep you guys on alert if something interesting has happened in the world of pro wrestling that needs to be addressed. And then, of course, we have the Unagi Sayaka Watch and various other cool things as well. So if you like what you see, please subscribe to us. So click on that subscribe button. You'll be getting a lot of daily reviews and, of course, other cool stuff. But if you like this episode, please give us a like on the like button or a nice comment in the description down below. Now, all introductions are set aside now. We got it out of the way. I believe it's time for this episode because I feel I am going to have fun with this because I know some of you are big time Yoshi Yoshi wrestling fans. I'm so excited. So let's get the show started with our very first one, Stardom. Okay, Stardom and Yamagata. This is one of their most recent shows that took place. I was hoping I get to see it, but however, let's get started. Our first match, we have Yuzuki, the rookie. This will be her last appearance in Stardom. She faced against our double champion, Mai Sakurai. So that's right, Mai Sakurai is the current high speed champion and tag champion. So it's very interesting how it's gonna be. I wasn't too sure. Um, I mean, she would have had a much bigger opportunity with a much better opponent, but I have to say this one will just do. But unfortunately, she couldn't keep up with the high speed of excuse me, of Maysita when she applied. I don't know if it was the Rolling Star like she normally does, but it helped out with the win, so she got the W for that. Our next match, we have Wingori, our current New Blood Tag Champions, and of course Hanan, who is our winner of our Cinderella tournament winner. They take on the rookie Rian, and of course our current and also another double champion, Micah. Um, you probably would think some of you in this match, just because Micah's in it, this match would end. No, there are moments we will see, of course, the rookies will take the fall, and it was very obvious in that way. But however, Rian, we've seen how very skillful she can be. She really impressed me in her debut match. But she had to go up against Hanan. Unfortunately, Hanan took her out by applying the her new submission move, the Drillian or something like that. It was very effective and, of course, picked up the win. Now, our next match, we have, of course, um, Sayaka Kurara. She teams up with Aya Sakura to take on Cosmic Angels, Yuna Mizumori, and Natsupoi. So I have to say this will be a perfect thing for both Kurara and Sakura as a tag team, because many people have recently talked they would like to see these two win the New Blood Tag Team titles. I mean, that would be a great accomplishment, not only for them but also put Cosmic Angels on the map. And I think that would be interesting. But however, they're facing against their seniors, Mizumori and Natsupoi. But Natsupoi, I have to say, she has been very displaying in submission moves. I have to say I was impressed by that with her. I think her being away helped her try not to push too much of her. I mean, we know she's a skillful high speedster, but um, her with submission it did pretty well. But unfortunately, she had to end the whole thing with the fairy gift onto Sakura just to pick up the win. So, however, as you know, Natsupoi will be teaming up with Tama and Sayuri to take on Yuna Aya Sakura, and Sayaka Kurara. So we'll see where that leads us from here on out. Now, our next match, we have EXV, Hanako, Waka, Zena, and Mina taking on stars Momo, Kogo, Koguma, Azuki, and Mayu Iwatani. Now, we have seen recently in the last month or so, EXV has been dominant so far. I mean, they have Micah, who is the current red belt champion, and not to mention Xena and Mina, along with Micah, are the new current 32nd artist champions. So you would think that that would make them unstoppable. But however, Stars were able to pick up the win thanks to Maya Iwatani, who was able to pick up the pinfall. It only took two moonsaults for Mayu to put away Xena, who's you guys know how dominant she can be, and just like that, it was over. The Stars win. But however, you can tell because of this, there is a factor that was played out. I don't know if anybody addressed it or it has. As you know, Mayu panned one of the 1/3 of the artist champions. So this means if there is a possibility that, of course, EXV's first title defense will face against Stars, most likely. But Xena does have something in her mind. After, of course, Mayu looked at the artist belts, she looked at the IWGP Women's Championship. But we do know that Mayu will face against Sari later on this month. So well, not this month. I mean, we're still in March. But anyway, in April for All Star Queendom. So we'll see where that leads us here. But of course, this we will keep an eye on that closely. Our next match, this is Mai Sakurai versus Tam Nakano. This is, of course, Mai Sakurai's last official match with Stardom. As you know, she is leaving Stardom. But this one was a very special match in some way. Now, those who know this, I'm a big fan of the Cosmic Angels. I didn't become a fan because I think of them, they're cute and all that. I think because they were in the very beginning they were the underdogs of the entire Stardom roster, and of course I like the storylines. But this was a match that, of course, Sakura Mai requested, and she came out wearing her wrestling gear that she used when she debuted back in 2021. If you guys remember, her first opponent was against Unagi Sayaka. But this was a very interesting match. Now, those who know this as well, if you guys have been watching Stardom a whole lot, Mai Sakurai has been unable to defeat her. Now, you would think in her last match, would this be the opportunity? Possibly, but no. Tam Nakano, who has been very, very unstoppable, was able to defeat her once again with the Violet Screwdriver. But there was an interesting promo that, of course, Tam did with Mai Sakurai after in the post match. Let me pull that up because there was a lot of translation about that. The, Tam tells Sakurai, Sakurai, can I ask you one question? What's a lady? That was just a joke, but Sakura, right what is the right decision to leave Cosmic Angels and choose DDM? She responds, I'm really glad that I chose DDM, but my starting point is Cosmic Angels, and it's the place that is so important to me that I will never forget. Thank you, Tamu-san, for letting me join Cosmic Angels. I'm sorry for saying the many terrible things. Tam, the truth is, I really love you. I'm really glad that I have met you. So, in this promo, it's more like finding closure to what transpired because if you guys remember, in February of 2022, Mai Sakurai decided to leave Cosmic Angels and join EDM, and Tam was very heartbroken over that. And she did told her that she will never forgive her for what she has done, And apparently, Mai Sakurai spent the entire time since joining Cosmic Angels saying many things. And the entire story, it was more like Sakurai was hoping that Cosmic Angels will just finally end everything. I mean, everything that Cosmic Angels went through, she thought it was over. I mean, we all thought the same thing last year when Mina and Waka left. But to our surprise, so you know, it's like I think maybe Sakurai questioned that maybe Cosmic Angels are of the strongest unit. Who knows? But I have to say this was a perfect closure for both of them. And of course that's how the story ends with that. I'm thinking I'll be doing a discussion video about this. We'll see about that. Now our next match, as you know, we saw a special gauntlet match with Yuzuki. Now it's Mirai's turn. First opponent she faces is, of course, the rookie Rana Yagama. I thought this match was pretty good, but I figured this match was going to go to Mirai because she's very experienced and it was a lot of fun. And then, of course, she faced Amisuri. These two ladies did not hold back, in case anybody knows. But, however, this match ended in a time limit draw. And then the next person was Saki Kashima. Now, on note here, while she was making her way to the ring, Saki Kashima was not very too keen about how this match is. Not because she has to face her, it's because those two have bonded very well. I mean, Saki had, if you guys remember, Konami was questioning about Saki's, being part of God's Eye, and Mirai defended her. And then, of course, Kashima applied the Kishikase right away, then the restart, and then once again, at like less than 3 minutes, Kashima won again. And of course, then we move on to Sudi. Then this match ended in a time limit draw. I thought this was a very good thing, and of course, I think Mirai said something during the post match. Let me pull that up real quick. I know I saw that. Yeah, this is what she said. It hurts a lot of places. I can't say anything cool because my mind is blank. But I'm grateful to everyone. Thank you very much. Sudi went on to say, "Thank you so much, Mirai. I was really happy to able to work with Mirai at God's Eye. God's Eye believes that Mirai is an important princess no matter where she goes. I want you to pursue the path you believe in to the fullest. I look forward to seeing you in the ring again. And then, of course, she closed out with, of course, God's Eye ending, their catchphrase, don't give in to yourself, go beyond your limits. God's Eye with all your soul, rock on. So, but the one person who was very effective with Mirai leaving was Kashima. And she had to say this during the post match comments. She says, I got along well with Mirai, even in private. And honestly, I would often go out to eat with Mirai than go to practice. Everybody just had a laugh. I mean, it's no secret that Saki Kashima doesn't like to go to practice, but she enjoys being around Mirai, and I can see how effective she is. She was like the one person who's taking it all in, knowing that she has gone so bonded with her. And I think I don't call it as a closure, but more as like a bittersweet that you bonded with someone who is so strong, and now she's gone. And I think that's a very good storytelling right there. So yeah, I think anybody would have cried by watching that. Now our next match, this is between Zuzu Suzuki and Julia. Now, as you guys know, these two ladies are no strangers with each other. They known each other from their ice ribbon days. Um, you don't need the whole story, but you probably know it. But these ladies did not hold back by any means necessary. I thought this match was pretty amazing. I mean, Zuzu has never beaten Julia at all. I mean, Julia has defeated her before. It was last year after she won the red belt, and I think that sets the whole thing. But unfortunately, this match ended in a 20-minute time limit draw. So you would say it's a disappointing loss, but yes. However, much like what we saw with wrestlers that were leaving, I think let's see, let me pull that up a little bit with this one. Let's see. Julie goes, I couldn't win. That's how much Suzuki got stronger. Won the 5-star Grand Prix and came this far. I'm glad that I continued to think about Zuzu. Um, this will be the second time we say goodbye in the ring. I'm sorry I'm always so selfish. We couldn't sell it. But we'll meet again. Let's get bigger together in the best to leave it. Uh, and then settle it. But be the face of pro wrestling of the pro wrestling world for sure, Zuzu. I have high hopes that you'll do your best. Zuzu responds, Julia, I love you. I never once disliked you, it's true. I loved you for so long time. I will definitely fulfill the promise I made here, and now I'll stand in front of you again, just like that time I beat you up as hard as I can. So look forward to it. So, even though Julie has always been proud of her. Now, those who know this, when Zuzu won the Ice Infinity Championships, Julia was right there watching in disguise. And I'm sure she'll follow Zuzu, and I'm sure she'll. Wouldn't be surprised if she sends a video to Zuzu if she does win the red belt and tell her how proud she is. I think that's something we could expect. Now, our next match, this is, of course, once again, one of the last official match with Utami Hayashishita, despite that she'll be making her appearance again in April. She teams up with everyone except for Hina in Queen's Quest to take on Oedo Tai, consistent of Rina, Raka, Starlight Kid, Momo, and Atsuko Tora. However, you know that this was going to be a match where, of course, Oedo Tai would target her. As you know, Momo has a lot of issues towards her, and all this other stuff. I mean, it's no secret that the rivalry between both Queen's Quest and Oedo Tai dates back a long time ago, before their time. And of course, this was going to be a good opportunity for Oedo Tai to humiliate her in her final match, in which they did. However, it was Natsuko Tora who did the mist on her, and then of course Momo whacked her with a baseball bat, then the beach sunrise. Of course, Utami did a promo. Sayakami Tani was the one who's taking it in, much like what we saw with Saki Kashima. So yeah, so this was the last time, and I know, man, but she would love to see Queen's Quest to move on forward. Um, but yeah, I have to say this is a very emotional time, and of course, Momo Watanabe Nia in the back tells her that good that you're leaving. Now get the f out. So we'll see what happens until then. But as for Queen's Quest, we'll see what happens in the future with this. So I think that's pretty much it. What we have for all of you for Stardom. Let's move on with Tokyo Yoshi Pro Wrestling. Okay, our last review. This is Tokyo Yoshi Pro Wrestling with Grand Princess 2024. It opened up once again, as always, with the ring announcer, and then we had a two-song performance by the Up Up Girls with Up Up Forever and Up Up Kick. So, fantastic performances. Of course, these ladies were gonna perform, were gonna wrestle, all of them. If you guys notice, Hikari Noa is still suspended. We just don't know when she'll be back in the ring, and of course, doing activities with the Up Up Girls. But we'll see. But at the moment, let's just start with our first matches. We have a six-woman tag match. We have the newest girl in the Up Up Girls, Uta Takami, teams up with Haru Ka, Kazushiro and Runa Kubu. They take on Rina Summer, um, Chika Nanaze, and Shino Suzuki. Now, if you guys notice, this is more of like a good start because we have some of the rookies. Shino has a bit more of experience, and of course, same thing with Runa and Kazushiro. But of course, we have Utami, Kira, and Nanaze. They both, they're all three of these ladies are rookies. So how is this gonna play out? I have to say, I think somebody from the much a bit experienced in three of them would have picked up the win. However, it was of course what's her name, Kazushiro with a beautiful bridge suplex onto Chikananaze and picked up the win just like that. I was like, very impressive. So we will see more of what these ladies would do. Our next match we have Imawari and Mahiro Kiru taking on Ami Yamamoto, who many people know more a bit about her. I don't know much. She teams up with Nao Kakuto, which is her last appearance in the Grand Princess show. As you know, she'll be retiring in a couple of months. So yeah, it's kind of interesting that that happened. But of course, I was kind of thinking this match would have fall favor to, of course, Kakuta and uh, Yumamoto. Now, Yumamoto seems like a rookie in some, but she has already been trained. She has appeared in certain places. That's from my understanding. But now Kakuta was the one who picked up the win with the backpack stunner on Imawari, and just like that, it was over. So we'll continue to stay close to Kakuta, who will be retiring soon. So we'll see. Our next match, I have to say, this is the most fun match I have ever watched. Pamadajuku and Raku team up once again, and they take on Kai Todabami and, of course, Andressa Giant Panda. Now, if you guys ever seen this guy, he's a big panda, so he showed up. But one thing that was interesting, Raku brought a big pillow. It's like, what's with the big pillow? It turns out it was meant for Andressa. Apparently, if you guys know Raku, Raku has the ability to make people go to sleep. All you got to do is sing a lullaby, and it worked. And of course, the one thing was crazy. They smashed Andressa's face while he was asleep. Then he kicked out. And then, of course, when he got up, Pamadajuku ran to the hills, leaving Raku all by herself. So, I don't know. It was kind of crazy how things were going. But the one thing that was interesting is how Andressa tags out and then tags back in. It was really funny. But however, one thing that was really cool is Pam Harajuku played the smart one, decided to tie it up on the rest of the Giant Panda, while Raku used the Dr. Yellow onto Kaya Toribami, and just like that, they won. So I thought it was a fun match. I enjoyed it myself. Now, our next match, we have SKE 48, which is an idol group. They did 4 performances, but those who know this or not, are the current international princess champion, Yuki Rai, used to be part of this idol group, and um, of course, the ring announcer and Miyu Watanabe are fans. So yeah, it was a great performance. I don't know much about their songs, but yeah, it was a fun performance. I have to say, great way to the entire event. I'm not gonna lie. Now our next match we have Toga, Uehara. They take on Moka Miyamoto and Julia Nagano. Now, those who know this or not, Julia will be retiring soon in a couple of weeks. So this will be her last official match as in a big event. Don't know when it will be happening. If you guys remember, she announced that she'll be retiring as a pro wrestler due to activities outside of wrestling that she was heavily involved. Those who know this, she's a registered nurse, an actress, YouTuber. You will be surprised. But I follow her YouTube channel, so yeah. But it was a pretty good match. Not to mention, um, I was like not I was like impressed with Wakana and Toga together as a team, but it was Mocha who picked up the win with this thing called the Kurokun onto it's kind of like a twist of fate, but um, she did that on Toga, and just like that, it she picked up the win. So not bad. So we will continue to follow along with Julia until the day she has to retire. So bittersweet. Our next match, we have Masha Slamovich taking on Rika Tatsumi. I have to say this was a good challenge for Rika for us for many reasons. Why? Because A, she's never faced someone like Masha. But the commentator told Masha, watch out for Rika because Rika has the tendency to choke people. And sure enough, Rika did that. Basically, Masha should have not taken her lightly, but it happened. So basically, she should have known better, but it didn't do any well for her because Masha applied the package pile driver, and just like that, it was over. Anyway, moving on. We have Komi Koyori, consistent Hyper Misao, and Shoko Nakajima taking on a very interesting duo. The last time we saw those two together, they were fighting the crap out of each other. We're talking about Max the Impaler and Aja Kong. So basically, you can tell that this was more like a superhero versus the villains. And last time, Hyper Misawa's bike was destroyed, all thanks to Aja Kong. And she tried to do the same thing again with the newer bike. But Shoko Nakajima tried to stop her, but she got slammed her right into it. I don't know how damaged it is. But, however, a great moment happened. Max grabbed one of those kind of like steel trash cans or so and gave one to Aja Kong, and just like that, double whammy right on top of their faces. So just, but it was Aja Kong with a big elbow onto Hyper Misawa and picked up the win. So the villains walked away with the victory while the superheroes retreat and fight another day. Now, our next match, we have Maki Ito versus Murder Grandpa Minoru Suzuki. I wasn't too sure, but of course, there was a moment where Minoru Suzuki was ready to whack her, but decided to back away. I think Maki is like, what the fudge? Why did you do that? You know, it's like she wanted to get it, not because she enjoys it. It's like she wants to take it. You know, like a real champ. I mean, Minoru Suzuki's no joke. You guys seen how he is. He's very sadistic. He's very crazy. That sets it up. But however, Minoru Suzuki won because Maki Ito could not fight the escape of the chokehold. So That sets it up. So just like that, it was completely over. And then in the post match, um, Minoru Suzuki extended his hand to shake her hand. She was about to do that, and then she gave him the bird, and then he grabbed the bird, choking it, and dragged her out. I'm like, don't ever try to do that to Minoru Suzuki because he is crazy. Now, our next match, we have a very interesting, you can say, intergender tag match. Uh, Chris Brooks teams up with Emi Sakura to take on the reunite of Magical Sugar Rabbits. That's right. Mizuki and yeah. That's right. Yuka Sakazaki was back too. However, this was a tough challenge. Now, don't forget, in this particular match, Emi Sakura was the one who trained Mizuki. So you would think that in some capacity, that somehow uh, Emi Sakura will try to beat her former student. I mean, we have seen in the past, Emi Sakura has faced her former students, either if it's in Got to Move, Choco Pro, AW, it doesn't matter where, but she has done many things to do that. And Mizuki was the one person who picked up the win by applying the Aqua Marina, and just like that, it was over. However, of course, Emi Sakura was not happy with the fact that she lost. And where the hell was Chris Brooks? Well, he was dealing with Yuka, but it picked up the win. Now, some of you may question why did Mizuki pick up the win instead of Yuka? Simple. If you guys remember, many last year, Yuka felt that it was time for Mizuki to shine up, and I think she's right. She needs to learn how to pick up wins on her without Yuka taking the credit for it, and I think that's a good, smart thing to do. So I have to say, very impressive. Now, our next match is for one of the three championship matches, the International Princess title. Yuki Arai, this is her second defense. She faces against the former champion Yuki Kamifuku. Now, she hasn't defended this belt since February, I believe, and Yuki Kamifuku stepped up. Yuki Arai was very much busy. I have to say this was a tough challenge for Yuki Arai. I mean, she has been the strongest. Now, she won this belt by defeating Max the Impaler. And I thought it was great match. I mean, you would have assumed that somehow Yuki Kamifuku would have been now a two-time International Princess champion. But it was Yuki Arai with the finale, and just like that, it was over. And she retained her belt. Our next match, this is the Princess Tag Team titles. Um, Daisy Monkey, consistent of Arisu Endo and Zuzumi, who recently won this Max Heart tournament, which is a tag tournament, called their shots against Yuki Anoe and Ryo Mizunami. Now, those who know this is Yuki Anoe. I know is in fact a two-time tag champion. The first time with her sister Nodoka. It was very interesting that she teams up with Mizunori, but many fans are like saying, will this be the time where we see Daisy Monkey finally get what they earned and deserved, which becoming the tag champions? And we have seen how incredible and effective they can be. I mean, those two teamed up very well I think for almost a year or more. I don't know, but it's unbelievable. You would have assumed, okay, this would have been they would have fought with all their fullness. I mean, you have to deal with Ryo Mizunami, a veteran in the Yoshi world, Yuki Inoue, a former champion herself. But Daisy Monkey, who without the trials and tribulation, them not even though they are good, close in winning, was one of those things. But it was Zuzumi who picked up the win by applying the Ring of Bell and Aino, and just like that, they are now our 16th Princess Tag Team Champions. So Daisy Monkey finally got what they wanted, which is becoming the tag champions. So I can't wait what they're gonna do now, starting from here, and then we'll go from there. Now, our main event, I think this is the one I anticipate the most. Miyu Watanabe versus Miyu Yamashita. Now, these two ladies know each other all too well. There have been times they faced each other against each other. They even faced each other. They even teamed up. but many people know Miyu Yamashita. I think she is a four-time Princess of Princess champion. Um, Miyu Watanabe is one of those wrestlers that many people have often say that they she is going to be the top champion one day, and this was that opportunity. Can she pull that off? And I think that says it all. I mean, she's been very close many times, but um, this was gonna be her chance to do it, and I love what they were doing. I mean, Miyu refuses to stay down. Miyu Watanabe refuses to stay down no matter what. I mean, Miyu Yamashita, same thing, but it took only three teardrops, like in different moments, for Miyu Watanabe to finally put her away, and just like that, Miyu Watanabe is our new Princess of Princess champion. This was a long time coming. I think many fans have been expecting this and they're wanting. But there was one thing that the commentators allude. Those who know this, Miyu Watanabe is now the second Grand Slam champion in Tokyo Pro Wrestling. Some of you may ask me, who's the first? Simple. Is Rika Tatsumi. If you guys remember, Rika and Miyu were tag champions together. Rika Tatsumi has won the Princess of Princess champion, then the International Championship. Miyu Watanabe is one of those wrestlers that I mentioned once before, that she is now close to become a Grand Slam champion, and I'm happy that she did that. Some of you may ask me, do I know who's also in that position to win? Right now, the only person I can think of is Mizuki. So we'll see where that goes from there. But yes, so I can't wait to see what she's gonna do now as our current Prince of Princess champion, and we'll see from there. I'm so excited. So I think that's pretty much it for right now. What we have, I believe it's time to end things with our reviews and move on with news updates. Okay, so welcome to our new news update. So let's begin with two updates with the promotions for their upcoming events. As you know, we are now getting closer to WrestleMania week. Spark Yoshi Puroresu of America has announced two matches for their Trailblaze event on the 7th of April. We have Starlight Kid will be facing a mystery opponent, which is going to be good to watch. And then another match has been announced. We have Masha Slamovich and Rina Yamashita once again teaming up. They will face against High-End and Brittany Blake. So that's what's going to happen for this Sunday. Now, West Coast Pro, as you know, I mentioned that they're going to have another show that will be produced by Chris Hero, Pro Res Mixtape. It will happen on the 14th of April, later on this month. And they just announced four wrestlers that will be participating. No, five actually. Five wrestlers. There's Hollow Wicked, the Bounty Hunter Brian Keith, Katsusada Aguchi from DDT, Titus Alexander, and AR Fox. So yes, so those will be appearing. I'm sure more will be announced soon. Now for our developments. I only have one. If you guys remember, we have Katsuhiko Nakajima, who is in fact, as of today, is in fact no longer the Triple Crown champion in All Japan Pro Wrestling. So he lost the belt against Yuma Anzai, who has been a well-recognized wrestler in All Japan. So I'm very excited. However, it was later told that Nakajima has no plans with All Japan Pro Wrestling. Most likely, he will not be rejoining Noah. However, there is a speculation about him going to the U.S. I know that some of you, my subscribers, would think he probably will go with WWE. I mean, it is a possibility, but we just don't know. I asked myself, does WWE have any interest in him? I mean, we'll see. Now, speaking of Yakajima losing the belt, Yuma Aoyagi had he said he praises Yuma Anzai in beating him, But Nakajima responded to that saying that it's his comments are pointless. Like, why? It's because here's the thing: nobody liked the idea of Nakajima being there or winning the Triple Crown title. That was one of the things. So we'll see what happens. I haven't seen the event yet, but I'll hopefully get the chance to see it soon enough. But we'll see where that leads us from here on out. But at this time, we'll just end things right now from here. And I get to say this: let's call it a day. Well, I hope everybody enjoys this episode. Coming up, I haven't had no plans yet for our Monday shows for Monday. I haven't decided. Uh, I was considering giving myself a break from them, but I haven't decided. But it's undecided just yet. But we'll see where that leads us from here on out for the time being. So we'll just go from there. But at this time, I will see you guys in the next DWZ time, same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu. So, goodbye, and have a nice day.